Million-dollar HDB flats are all the rage, with a record number already sold this year. 1.4 million lower-income Singaporeans will be receiving GST voucher cash payouts from this month. And two icons on a mission, Japan's Ultraman and Singapore's Merlion, team up in a new tourism campaign. This is the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Chow Suen. A record number of $1 million HDB flats changing hands this year, despite the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. A total of 87 such flats sold in just the first 5 months of 2021, the highest number of million-dollar flats sold in a year on record, and more than the 82 units sold for the whole of last year. And these are the top 5 transactions so far this year. A 5-room design, build and sell scheme flat at Natura Loft in Bishan Street 24, selling for $1.25 million in April, beating 2 other flats in the same location that were sold earlier in the year. Rounding up the top 5 are 2 $1.21 million sales at 2 Toei Drive in February and at 18C Holland Drive in May. But the one to beat is, of course, the 5-room flat at Pinnacle at Duxton, which sold for a record $1.258 million last September. But while there is demand for pricier HDB flats, it remains a reality that everyday Singaporeans have been hit hard by the pandemic. To support the needs of lower to middle income families, 1.4 million locals and 950,000 HDB households will receive $1.3 billion in permanent and one-off GST vouchers this year. 1.4 million individuals will be receiving up to $500 in GSTV, cash and cash special payout, with 9 in 10 receiving the payouts automatically in June and July. Also, about 950,000 households living in HDB flats will be receiving up to $200 of GSTV USave and USave special payment credited to their utility bills next month. Now looking at the latest COVID-19 numbers, 15 new infections in the community with 7 currently unlinked. Of the 8 linked cases, 6 had already been placed under quarantine, while 2 were detected through surveillance. There are also 3 imported cases today. Now, and more than half of the 52,000 parents or students who received SMSs to sign up for vaccination have booked their slots. According to the Ministry of Education, the messages have been sent out to those taking O and A-level exams this year. Now, and as we get used to the idea of living with the virus, experts tell ST that the new normal means the COVID-19 vaccine could become like the yearly flu shot.
That at some point, we will continue to see COVID-19 being included as part of our national immunization schedule for both adults and children. And perhaps we will need regular booster shots from time to time to make sure we continue to be protected, especially against any new emerging variants.
Mandatory COVID-19 testing got underway today for those living at blocks 501 and 507 along Hougang Avenue 8. While there are no confirmed cases yet, traces of the virus were found in wastewater samples from these blocks. Residents of Block 506 went through the same exercise after some cases were detected there in May. All residents of Block 745 Yishun Street 72 are also undergoing mandatory testing. This after surveillance measures uncovered 6 cases from 2 households. And like in Hougang, traces of the virus were also found in the wastewater. Investigations are ongoing to determine any possible links as well as the source of transmission. And it's all smiles at Alexandra Hospital, a ward reopening today after 14 days of lockdown when a staff member tested positive for the virus. Thanking the public for their encouragement and support as well as thoughtful gifts, the hospital said that the 9 patients and 19 staff who had been placed on quarantine order are all well and in good spirits. Struggle to say the clunky names of the COVID-19 variants? Well, this will probably help. The World Health Organization has assigned Greek alphabet letters to the variants to avoid stigmatizing nations where they were first detected. The 4 variants considered to be of most concern, originating from the UK, South Africa, Brazil and India, will now be given the letters Alpha, Beta, Gamma and Delta, respectively. Other variants of interest will continue down the alphabet. The WHO says it hopes the new naming will simplify public communications. Now let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. Fans of Singapore's superstar JJ Lin, if you've been eagerly awaiting the release date of a new date for his upcoming virtual concert, wait no more. The show will now take place on July 10th at 8 p.m. The JJ Lin Sanctuary finale virtual concert had been scheduled to take place on June 6th, but was postponed due to the escalating pandemic situation in Taiwan, where the show is being produced. Singapore and Japan celebrates 55 years of diplomatic relations, and each side has sent an ambassador, but not the kind you imagine. The iconic Ultraman meets our beloved Merlion in a new virtual campaign by the Singapore Tourism Board in Japan to keep Singapore at the top of consumers' minds. Very fitting, especially as the beloved Japanese superhero is also celebrating its 55th anniversary this year. Ultraman will feature in the ongoing Singapore Reimagine campaign, where he will feature with the Merlion in key tourism visuals, short films and travel merchandise. Looks like they'll make a great team. Can't wait. And do you miss taking the bus now that most of us are stuck at home for days on end? Well, you can now enjoy that sitting on the bus vibe as you work from home. Local vehicle scrapping company Kim Lee Huat has upcycled those iconic bus seats into swivel chairs, much to the amusement of netizens. In a Facebook post, the company said they are selling each chair at a starting price of $100. And it has certainly gotten people talking, with comments including requests for an armrest to be added to the chair, to calling for the company to collaborate with other office chair makers to develop a more ergonomic version. Now tell us what you think in the comments below. Would you want one? And before we go, if you're like me and still buzzing from the Friends reunion special last week, this would certainly put a smile on your face. Ed Sheeran got together with Friends star Courtney Cox to recreate the iconic routine from season 6 of the show, first aired more than 20 years ago. That's right, no David Schwimmer in sight as Sheeran took over Ross and busted out his moves alongside Cox. Cox played Monica on the sitcom. The actress had uploaded the video on her Instagram account saying, "Just some routine dancing with a friend," with the hashtag #ReRoutine. Here's the original scene if you're familiar, when Ross and Monica, who were siblings in the show, performed in the episode titled The One with the Routine. Who do you think did it better? Let us know in the comments below. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Keep safe and I'll see you tomorrow.